Turning focus now to Brazil. On Sunday, Luiz Inacio Lula da Silva won the election. He will be taking over as president on the 1st of January next year. But the incumbent president, Jair Bolsonaro, has not conceded defeat. There were fears that he would contest the election result, but he has not done that. Bolsonaro says he will be respecting the constitution. But does that mean a smooth transition? Our next report getting you the details.
Brazil faced a polarized election. It was right-wing Bolsonaro versus left-wing Lula da Silva. Before the election, Bolsonaro had already raised doubts over the sanctity of the polls. After he lost to former President Lula da Silva, he stayed silent. There were fears that Bolsonaro would not concede defeat, fears that he would live up to his moniker, the tropical Trump. On the day he won, Lula da Silva expressed his doubts.
The defeated President Bolsonaro should have called me to recognize my victory. Up to now, he hasn't called. I don't know if he will or if he will concede.
Bolsonaro's silence led to demonstrations by his supporters. Truckers backing Bolsonaro blocked Brazil's roads. His followers cordoned off Sao Paulo's airport. They insisted the election was fraudulent.
The biggest fraud in Brazil's electoral history.
Some said they were blocking the roads because they wanted the army to intervene.
We must take the measures that Bolsonaro cannot take. And with this measure, we are here triggering a federal intervention from the Brazilian army. The armed forces must take action because Brazil is already out of control.
They insisted they would wait till Bolsonaro spoke. He finally addressed the people on Tuesday.
I want to begin by thanking the 58 million Brazilians that voted for me on the last day of October. Today's popular movements result from the indignation and the feeling of injustice about the electoral process. Peaceful manifestations will always be welcome. As long as I am President of the Republic and a citizen, I will keep following all our Constitution's mandates.
You may have noticed he did not concede defeat. He just said he would respect the Constitution. After Bolsonaro left, his chief of staff said this.
Bolsonaro authorized me to begin the transition process according to law. The Workers' Party, on behalf of President Lula, will formalize the new Vice President, Geraldo Alckmin, next Thursday. We will wait for it to be formalized to fulfill the country's law.
So Bolsonaro hasn't officially conceded defeat, but he has authorized the transition. Brazil's Supreme Court has said this means Bolsonaro recognized the result. What about the supporters? Political analysts say Bolsonaro may want to keep his supporters mobilized. He may choose to leave the issue simmering until the next election in 2026. For now, Brazil's police is getting Bolsonaro supporters off the streets. However, the polarization in Brazil will be much harder to remove. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.